Hello my craft friends, Tracy here with Sweet Bay Lane. I am so glad you stopped in to craft with us because in this video we're going to be DIY crafting 3 gorgeous Christmas ornaments. Now I'm leaning more towards the nostalgic side of Christmas with the traditional colors, but keep in mind, depending on the supplies you use, you can make these match any Christmas theme. So enough of this chit chat, let's get to making. Let's begin with DIY number 1. For this DIY, we're going to need some of these wood cutout shapes. I'm going to be using these round discs and these wooden star pieces, along with a snowflake cutout and some ephemera of your choice. I'm going to be using these little vintage Santa faces from Hobby Lobby. You'll also need some of your favorite Christmas scrapbook paper. I'm going to be using this music note and these little snowflakes, which I purchased from Hobby Lobby. We start by gluing our shapes to the back side of our scrapbook paper. I'm going to start out with 2 of the circles and 1 of the stars. So I'm going to glue the star and 1 of the round wood discs to the back side of my music note scrapbook paper. And to do that, it's going to be quite easy. You're just going to take an Elmer's purple glue stick. You're going to put glue on the back side of the scrapbook paper and the front side of your wood piece. Then attach the 2 together. I then did the same process with the other round wood piece. I glued that to the back side of the red and white snowflake paper. Once we finish gluing on our wood shapes to the back side of our scrapbook paper, we'll set those aside to dry, and we're going to bring back in our snowflake and we're going to be painting it red. I'm going to be using this Rust-Oleum red spray paint in apple red, and it's a satin finish. Then, while our snowflake is drying outside, we're going to bring back in our wood pieces that we glued to the back side of the scrapbook paper, and we're going to cut out our shapes. Now, for the circles, it's quite easy. You'll just bring in a sharp pair of scissors and cut around your wood circle. With the star, it's a little more difficult. You're going to cut as much as you can away from the star, and then come in with some sandpaper and knock off the excess paper. Once we have that all done, we'll bring back in all of our pieces. We're also going to bring in this ephemera, this vintage Santa face, which I love. I got these from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to be getting 2 of them out because I'm going to be gluing a little Santa face to my round wood discs. Look at how perfectly vintage those are. And then we'll just glue them to our round wood discs with some hot glue. Next, we're going to take our red snowflake and we're going to glue it on the top of our star. Just making sure that our hanger hole for our snowflake is at the top of our star. Then we're moving on to our next step, and that's going to be adding some embellishments. I'm going to be using these beautiful ribbons, making some simple bows, and gluing them to the top side of my wood pieces. And once I had my bows glued on, I then decided to add some more embellishments. I brought in some of this frosted greenery along with a vintage jingle bell. Once I had my embellishments done, I then just added some gold ribbon hangers. Hey, if you like what you see so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you here at Sweet Bay Lane. I love how these ornaments turned out, and for me, they're the trifecta. They're affordable, easy, and give a great vintage Christmas look. Now we're moving on to DIY number 2. This DIY is so much fun and very easy. You're going to need some of these little mini grapevine wreaths along with some ribbon of your choice, but the ribbon has to actually have wording on it. You'll also need a jingle bell of some sort. Also, if you could do me a favor, I'd love it if you'd please like and share the video. It helps YouTube know to share it with other crafters, and that helps our craft community to grow. So we start with our little grapevine wreath, and we're going to take our ribbon and we're going to cut out the word Merry. And it helps to have a sharp pair of scissors. Once we have our word cut out, we're then going to glue it to the bottom of our little mini wreath. Once we have that glued on, I'm going to add a simple bow of this glitter ribbon I purchased from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to add that to the top of my wreath. Now that we have that done, we're going to take our little jingle bell, add some hot glue to the top part of our bell, and glue it directly underneath the simple bow. Then you have this beautiful mini wreath. But I'm going to make mine into an ornament, so I'm going to bring back in another piece of the glittery ribbon and add it as a hanger to the back side of my little wreath. Then you're left with this gorgeous vintage simple ornament. I love how this turned out. What do you guys think? And you could also use little Scrabble tile or little word tiles if you have them to spell out your words too. Now we're moving on to DIY number 3. And for this DIY, we're going to be using one of these wood slats. It measures 18 inches by 1.5 inches wide. You'll also need some of your favorite ribbon. You'll need some stain of your choice along with some white acrylic paint. We start our DIY by cutting our wood strip into 3 pieces. 2 of the pieces are going to be 2 inches tall, and 1 of the pieces is going to be 3 inches tall. Once we have our pieces cut, we'll now bring in some of this Americana gel stain in the color oak and stain all 3 pieces front and back. And I'm going to be using this makeup sponge to stain my pieces. Now that we have our 3 pieces of wood stained and they've dried, we'll bring back in our ribbon. I'm going to cut 2 pieces of this green glitter ribbon that I purchased from Hobby Lobby, along with 1 piece of the gold and red satin snowflake ribbon I purchased from the Dollar Tree. Once we have our pieces cut, we're now going to proceed to glue them to our little pieces. The 2 square pieces are going to get the green strip of ribbon, and the middle piece will get the red and gold strip of ribbon, as I'm showing you here. Once we have our ribbon on, we're now going to bring in some white acrylic paint and a small paintbrush, and we're just going to paint the corners of our wood pieces. And the goal here is to make it look like piled up snow on the corners of your wood pieces. Now that that's done and dried, we're going to glue our pieces together. We're going to take our smaller square pieces and glue them to the front side of our larger middle piece. So now you should have what looks like this. For this next step, we're just going to make some simple bows. We're going to make 1 of the red glitter bows and 2 of the green glitter bows. Then we're going to glue them to the top of our wood pieces. And when we're finished gluing our ribbons on, it looks like we have a trio set of packages that have been sitting in the snow. I think this is adorable. Now I'm turning mine into an ornament, so I took some of this twine and I just added a simple hanger to the back side. I think of all 3 of these DIYs, I think this is my favorite. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Which would be your favorite?